Now we're going to talk about computing variables in SPSS. So computing variables provides you the option to create new variables from a combination of existing variables. This is useful if we're trying to compute a summary score or for some survey of knowledge items, or to calculate a value such as BMI from a known variable like height and weight, or if we want to convert units. So if we had inches for height and we wanted to convert that to meters, we can use this compute function to do that. Variables in SPSS can be mathematically manipulated to create new variables but still preserve that old original data. So for example, if we have a variable containing each respondent's number of children and available containing and another column that contains the respondent's ideal number of children, we can manipulate a new variable by using this compute function, which represents the absolute value of the difference between their actual number of children and their ideal number of children. And it's much easier, again, to use this function in SPSS than to hand calculate this for every single individual in your data set. That would be similar, some of these are similar, that option of converting units or finding the absolute value. You can do similar things in Excel, and then you can drag down the tab to make it do everything for all of your columns of data. But this does it even faster and gives you more options, which is super nice. So how are we going to do this? Computing new variables. So computing a new variable, we want to use the transform option. So next to data in that main menu is the transform option, and then right below that is compute. So when you click those two things, you'll get this pop-up screen that tells you compute variable. In spot A, the top left, is the target variable. So this is the name of your new variable that is being created. Here you can type whatever name you want to call your new variable, or whatever the instructions are for that title. And once the variable is entered, you can click on type and label, which will become darker, and you can assign a variable type and give it a label. The default type for new variables is numeric, which makes sense, and that's typically what we'll be using anyway. For B, that's where all of the variables for your data set are listed. So you can use this menu to add variables into the computation. So if you clicked any of those variables and clicked the arrow at the top there to go into our expression box, then it would go over there and we can manipulate what we want to do with that. You can also type in the name of the variable if you know it. That might be a little easier for some people. Next is part C, which is the numeric expression. So this is at the top middle right side of the screen here, and it's called numeric expression. So similar to the selecting cases option, we want to use logical arguments here. So this is how we're going to specify how to compute the new variable. The expression has to include at least one variable from your data set, but it can use arithmetic and other functions. Most of the time we're either going to be using a formula, like the BMI formula, or we're going to be adding a number of different knowledge scores together to just see what the cumulative total is for those three areas of knowledge. When writing an expression in this compute variables window, SPSS is not case sensitive, so you don't have to worry about capitalizing or lowercasing your variable names. But to specify the new formula for your variable, you have the option to include or not include spaces after your commas or in between this plus and minus keys or whatever you're using. You can have spaces there or not, it doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is don't put a period at the end of the expression. So do not put a period in this numeric expression box. That confuses SPSS. It'll tell you there was an error and it won't do anything for you. So just be aware of that. Part D is that little part of the screen that has it has things like the plus button, the minus button, division symbol, multiplication symbol, less than or equal to signs, the and symbol, parentheses, as well as the numbers set up in like a calculator format. These you can use to specify how your new variable will be calculated. So you can kind of use these as you need, or you can just type them from your keyboard, either way, whichever works easier for you. Part E, down at the bottom, is an if on the bottom left-hand side. It's an if option. This would be something we're not going to use in this class, but if you want something to be specified under certain conditions to calculate something, you can use that here, but we're not going to use it in this class, so you don't have to worry about it. I just wanted to let you know what it was. And then F, the function group, which is on the far left-hand side under the numeric expression. This just has built-in functions that are useful to calculate values for new variables, which include the mean or the count and things like that. But most of the time, you're going to use a formula for this class, and or just add things together, which is not super crazy. But some other applications, you may want to use some other of those functions listed there.